spent most of the last 10 years working in design and specialist interiors and museum and gallery interiors and home interiors as well. And I think where my current journey of mindset and having a whole interest in mindset and mindset development, where that all started really was, I think it was about late November 2019. I had come to a stage where personally I was running and racing. I was chasing every shiny object there was out there. I had all these grand big ideas. I was trying to chase everything, and I think actually it was the 31st of November 2019, and everything just came to a sudden stop and just crashed down. And I had I suppose I had a form of a mental breakdown and absolute extreme mental fatigue, and it just all happened one day. And that, to be honest, Tanya, that has been a huge wake-up time in my life and a huge turning point. It was the day that things started to change and a new journey began, which is the one that I am still on, a year and a half on from that, or almost a year and a half on. And I think that on that day, I realized that, well, number one, the one thing I had was self-awareness, and I knew what was happening. And I knew what was happening to me, that I needed to, nip it in the bud. I needed to do something about it quickly. And I'm never somebody to bury my head in the sand or to give up or to run away from a problem. I think I've always had a kind of a fighting instinct, which is something that comes from my mom. My mom, before she passed away, she had been ill for 9.5 years after being given 3 years to live. And it's just that fighting and that belief, I guess, that inner belief. So
you're not done yet.
I'm not done. And I think on that day, I realized I need to start self-love. And that was something I was not doing. And it's something that's so important to everybody, regardless of where our mindset is. And we just need to start looking after ourselves and ensuring that we are the best version of ourselves, I guess. And from then, I started to realize, I think, that to be the best version of ourselves involves reaching out and helping other people. It's not about me. No. It's like there's a certain level of fulfillment in whatever we all do in helping and inspiring other people, and how that makes us feel and how it makes us become a better version of ourselves. And that was probably something I wasn't focused on prior to November 2019. I was too self-focused. I was too focused on what I wanted. I was making everything about me rather than about other people, and then let what I received from that help make a better version of myself. And that's the journey I've started, and that's the journey I still on. So I guess, that is a quick background to who I am. And because
I was just about to say, because we get so stuck in the thick of things.
Yes.
We don't get to take that little step out for a little bit and just wait. No, let's check in on ourselves. But at the same time, remember who we're actually delivering our messages to. It's not about us personally all the time. It is about our audiences and making sure that we're actually still delivering the message that we intended to deliver.
Exactly.
But I think for you, I know working with you in general, I think it shone a light a lot more on what your purpose was that you actually knew. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think it was March 2020, Business and Marketing School, actually, of when I first met you, Tanya, at Business.
Oh my gosh, look at that. We did like little party poppers.
Exactly, yeah. So I remember it was at Business and Marketing School with Jessen, and that's where we first kind of got to know each other. And I was at a stage where I had just got over I'd taken time out just to look after myself. I'd taken 6 or 8 weeks out of work, just to look after myself, refocus, get back on where I knew I should be. Obviously, Justin is how we both know each other, and that, like you said, the branding is, and getting our message out there is something that I hadn't given much thought to. I guess before I had met you and understood what branding is and getting your message out there, I probably thought it was just about having a logo. And it was you that showed me that there's a lot more to branding than there is having a logo.
Just a logo, absolutely.
Your logo really is I guess it's the image by which you're recognized, isn't it? Which tells your story as well. The branding side of it is much deeper. And having decided to work with you has definitely helped me to to unravel those layers, peel away that onion.
Yes.
Yes, and it's helped me to get that message out. What is? I mean, you had this. I remember you had this ability to really dig deep and ask me about, to really think about something, or words or phrases or whatever it is, and that all helped me to get my message out there. And it also worked around when I was trying to define my life purpose at the same time. And there is a connection, of course, between the two, because the branding we wanted to work on was my personal branding, not business branding as such. And I wanted to start with getting my personal branding around my life purpose correct. And then after that, allow my business to be an extension of my personal branding, and an extension, I guess, as a reflection of who I am and who my personal brand is. And there has to be that link, which is really important. Absolutely. So that's what we worked on towards the summer of last year. And I remember we played around with a lot of
there were so many options when
we did,
so many options. We thought outside the box, but it was probably going a little
we
far
totally
outside the box.
And I remember we came around, it all came down to, we went around in a circle of logos and ideas, and it all came down to, I guess, authenticity and just making it as personal as possible, because it wasn't about a business, it wasn't about design, it wasn't about helping people with mindset. It was about who I am, what is my story, and what and that was it. And we did come up with this. Yes.
It was a straightforward. It was a journey to get to that point, but still understanding that you are your brand.
Exactly.
It's all about you. It's about your personality. It's about your heritage, first and foremost, and understanding what your journey was throughout that.
Yes, absolutely. And I guess for me, it was my signature. Yeah. And it was how I sign things. And I sign everything with my initials, JFOM. I use my middle name initial always when I sign off things. And that's now in my branding, because I was thinking that, for a number of years, I used to go by John O'Mahony. Now I use the F, because I was thinking, my parents gave me that name. It's who I am. It's part of me. It's part of my personality, and I wanted to be part of my personal branding. And I think that the branding has helped me to really focus on the last few months about who I am, and it's connected me with my personal story. And I think it's just about authenticity, and just helps me to be me, and not to attempt to hide who I am. No. As we worked on my personality, and we were getting deeper and deeper and deeper into who I was, separate to business, keeping that, we always said we'd work on business branding separately. And I think that has really helped me to connect with a deeper inner self. And it has made me realize over the last 6 months, 9 months, that I have a story that inspires other people. And it was always something that I kept hidden, whether it was about mental health, which is something I've struggled with at times, whether it was about mindset in general, and just made me realize that, you know, there is, people just don't talk about mental health enough. People don't express their emotions enough. People don't, and there's a need for inspiration out there to get people to talk more and to open up in their emotions. And I think one of the best ways to do that is to inspire with my own story.
Absolutely.
And just be myself. And I've started to do that at times where I've just been open and just said, you know, this is how I feel. I cried, I did this, whatever it is. And the feedback has been absolutely brilliant. And just makes me realize there's so much out there that people aren't talking about. There's so many.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah.
It's particularly amongst a hell of a lot of things, but 2020 has highlighted that tenfold, you know?
Absolutely.
I think it's just shone a light on a hell of a lot of things, and mental health, mindset, especially motivation, especially. Oh my gosh, has it put a magnifying on that particular sector, as well as a whole bunch of other things as well. But I think without you realizing it, John, you've been living your brand. You know?
Yes. And I know we had
and that's something that we kind of like naturally do without realizing it, until you actually start picking certain points or understand what your keywords are, all that kind of stuff. You'll be like, well, damn, yeah, I'm actually doing this. You know?
But doesn't that come back to branding? It shows that everybody has a brand.
Yeah. By default,
because everybody, whether they realize it or not, everybody is living their story. Everybody is living and shining their message. They may not realize it. That's a brand.
Yeah. Yes, exactly,
that's a brand.
It's your story, it's your values, all that kind of stuff. And it
absolutely, yeah.
Like you just said, everybody's living it naturally, but we just don't know how that it's described as that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that all of that played into 2020 and lockdown 1 in, I guess, it played into it in some sense. I think personally for me, I've been massively tested throughout 2020 and still in the current lockdown 3 as well.
Yeah.
And I think that maybe without, if there hadn't been any COVID or any lockdown, I might have jumped into a business, you know, maybe this time 12 months ago now. But the fact that I haven't really jumped into a business as such yet, it has helped my story to develop. I've discovered a lot more about myself in the last 12 months. And we had a talk yesterday, and I think one word has stuck with me from that conversation, and I can't get it out of my head today, and that is resilience. Yeah, resilience. And I think that when I look back at the last number of years, not just the last 18 months, I realized that it's resilience that has got me to where I am.
Yeah.
And I've never, like I said, I've never, ever been someone to give up hope. I've always believed that there's a light, no matter how dark the place you think is. I've always believed there is a light, whether you can see it or not. I've never given up hope. And I've struggled with mental health in the past, and I've never, ever given up hope. And that is a message that I want to start getting out there and pushing. And
brilliant. Good.
The best way to do that is to, again, it comes back to my brand and to my story, is just to be myself and share that story, and not to share it in a way that's saying you must do this or you must do that. It's just by sharing my personal story, I fully believe can inspire other people. to be resilient and to believe that there's always, that challenges, we'll always have challenges in life, but we can bounce back from these. Challenges will make us stronger. And
absolutely. And I think it's understanding to let people know that there's hope. This isn't, as much as you're feeling as down as you're feeling, it's not forever.
Yeah.
And so long as you want to lift yourself up out of it, and it is a personal thing that you have to do. People can talk to you about it. People can, help you to give you motivational words or anything like that. But until you get your trigger word or your trigger moment, if you like, to help put you back up again, it has to be you to want to do that,
Yes, absolutely.
Tap into that resilience, as you say,
Yeah, and knowing that I'm doing that and helping maybe helping to change people's mindsets or how they perceive, challenges in life. I think just knowing that I might be helping someone that's hugely fulfilling, personally.
Yeah.
And that goes back to what I was saying about shining your light on other people, being a lighthouse for other people to create a better version of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And it's that fulfillment, not to be just doing it by looking inwards. You need to look outwards to create a better version of yourself. And that's something I've learned in the last year and a half since I had my own challenges in November 19. So it's something that I'm really passionate about. It's something that excites me a lot. But I have procrastinated a lot in 2020. I have to say. I have. Yeah, and I know I can make excuses all day long. I really can. But yeah, look, touching on, you mentioned at the start about lockdowns and that, and 2020 COVID lockdowns, it's been challenging for everyone in so many different ways. I guess one way of putting it is that everybody is in the same storm.
Absolutely.
But we're all in different boats trying to get through it. Some of us might be in a super yacht powering through it.
Others might be in a submarine.
Yeah, that's true. Others might be in a submarine. Others might be in a small little broken boat with a broken oar.
Yeah.
But there is light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
And it is, it might seem like a lifetime what's been happening, but I guess that it is temporary, and it's just having belief that it is temporary, will pass. It is like the clouds in the sky. Clouds never stay still. They'll always move, and there's always that blue sky. The blue sky doesn't come and go. The blue sky is always there. It's just the clouds obscure it. That's all that happens. And I think that 2020 has definitely taught a lot of us a lot more about ourselves as well. It has. There's a lot of positives to be taken from 2020. And I know a lot of people have suffered personally and in business, but there is positives to be taken in how we move forward this year and next year.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I'm quite excited. I am quite excited about what this year holds in shining my light as far as I can using Tanya's creative branding. Yes.
And yourself as well, and because you are the walking version of your brand,
Well, yeah. I mean, true, and that's something you reminded me about yesterday. And I guess that when we allow our emotions get the better of ourselves, which, being honest, that happened to me in the last few days, because lockdown 3 I have found to be an absolute nightmare. And my emotions got the better of me, and I guess your everything gets a bit foggy and you can't see past it. Now, I believe the fog always clears. And sometimes it just means having a chat with somebody.
That's exactly it.
That's all it means. And that person will always see something or remind you of something that you may not see in that moment yourself. And it might be just that light bulb moment And like chatting to you yesterday, we talked about resilience, and you mentioned there about living my story now. And I was like, oh yeah, but I thought I thought I was just feeling crap, but no, I was living my story.
You're living your story.
And what we're doing today is, I mean, I'll be honest, as you know, I did consider not doing this interview because of how I felt the last 2 or 3 days. I was just felt so crap, and after talking to you yesterday, it was, by doing this interview, it's the best way I can inspire people, by showing people that we are resilient, we can pick ourselves up from challenges and bounce back from what life throws at us.
Absolutely.
And just keep going. And that's why I decided to do it. So again, the benefits of talking to Tanya.
I have some good benefits every now and then.
Exactly. So so I mean, look, it just lights me up knowing that I could at least help one person each day, because I know there's always a ripple effect. People watching this, it's a ripple effect. How we help other people, how we inspire people, how we give a helping hand. Even talking to someone, there's always a ripple effect from everything you do, from one to one.
Oh, absolutely. And I think I was actually saying something like this in the Queen's Club as well, where I had held a session with one of the other queens, and literally to the point where we are, as entrepreneurs, as business owners, anybody who's trying to make some kind of a positive influence within the world, we are on pebbles, and we are all dropping them in, and then we're into the water, and we're all creating our little ripples,
True.
And it'd be amazing to see, as you said, it could be just one person. Who cares? Perfect. We touched one person, but then that one person's going to touch another person. That ripple effect. Oh my gosh! What can it do?
Yeah.
The positivity that is just
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
That's how we change lives.
Yeah.
It's about just reaching out and touching one. That's really all that is.
One person. We're all problem solvers. So, the fact that we can just help one person, perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, a lot of us might believe that we're not good enough to help a lot of people, but it just means helping one. Yeah. Just one. You don't need to jump in at the deep end as such. Just reach out and do. And a lot of us are doing that without realizing it.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Just need to keep doing it. That's it.
Need to keep doing it. It takes that one little inspiring story, that one little, okay, I can do this,
Yes. And I'm going to be finding ways just to reach out to a lot more people and inspire more people using my own personal story and my journey, I guess. Absolutely. And something I've realized is, you don't have to be above your story to inspire other people. I don't think you have to be above it. I think it's just as inspiring to share it while you're in your story, because it's like you're carrying people along with you, and you're sharing things that you're experiencing things that they're experiencing, rather than you being above your story and you're telling people, I used to be. So I think there's quite something in there for inspiring people while I'm in my story. So I will be relaunching something on that very, very soon, in the next couple of weeks.
Good, man. Good.
So Facebook group coming to start with, and it's going to be about inspirational living and working environments in the home. That's what it's going to be focused on: inspirational living and working environments in the home. Because a lot of us, there's so many ways you can inspire other people by the environments they're spending most of their lives in, whether that is the environment they are living in or the environments they are working in. And it doesn't just mean your desk or how tidy it is. It's just everything in your environment, your home, how decluttered it is, and how colors, sounds, appearances, and space. And that's something I want to go back into. So, there's that link between inspiration and design, and that's something I'm going to focus on in a new design business to launch very, very soon.